Hello, namaskaram. Today, I would like to look at the theory of a young Hindu professor of philosophy who claims, and his name is Shyam Ranganathan, so South Indian like myself, but handsome, young, virile, and American. But he believes that activism, engagement, diversity, and appropriation within yogic spiritual circles, this is an outcome of a longer historical process of Western imperialism. This is all bullshit. This is nonsense. The fact is, yoga is a universal, just like as is Christianity is universal, because anybody can become a Christian. Hinduism is completely universal. Everybody can and has become universal. Look at Alan Octavian Hume. He came from Scotland. He studied medicine. His father also did so. Both of them initially studied medicine, but then they were both went into the service of the East India Company, where their excellent personality, their excellent analytical skills, their courage, they enable them to do extremely well. Alan Octavian Hume would be considered one of the first ecologists or environmental activists of India. He was a top civil servant. And if you read his book on Indian agriculture, published in, in 1879 or thereabouts, you will be surprised to find that this white man, he's saying you must protect the cow. You must ban cow slaughter. ये आदमी गौरक्षक है. ये गोरखनाथ, गोरखनाथ, Go-raksha Nath. That's its meaning. For 1,000 years, we had the Gorakshak community who was trying to prevent the complete destruction and impoverishment of the Indian people by neglect of cow, because as Alan Octavian Hume, who, like his father, had initially had training in medical field, and he had the practical knowledge. In 1857, he was a district magistrate, and the whole bloody North India had turned against the white man. They were being slaughtered. But you see, if you show good talent in doing your job, this is called karma yoga, by the way. Karma yogi means people who are good at doing their job, doing their duty. And you see, the people who, if you're district magistrate, district commissioner, and you actually promote the ecology and the agronomy and protect the people from the usurers and from the mischief makers, what are called moral parasites, the people who use the law to destroy decency. And that was what Alan Octavian Hume was doing. And you see, yes, initially he was a theosophist, but ultimately he became an Advaitin, you know. So don't talk any bloody nonsense to me about yoga being outcome of long historical processes of Western imperialism. Bloody nonsense and rubbish. Where there was yoga, there was no Western imperialism. You know, where there is yoga, it's like when there is good food, the person who wants to eat shit fucks off. Or he stops on to eat shit and he starts to eat good food. Yoga, it's like good mathematics. Yoga is just like good mathematics. The bad mathematicians, they fuck off. That's it. And this Shyam Ranganathan, Yeah, from America, America. And, he shaved he's not keeping his hair. He shaved it. Why? Why? Because his hair will give him away as not being descended from slaves and having a genuine grievance. The slaves were brought from here to there and they were oppressed. And then even when they get legal emancipation for economic reasons, they were, you know, discriminated against and so on. African Americans, Afro Caribbeans, they have genuine complaints. But then, you have Ranganathan, Ranganathan, he'll turn up. Oh, yeah, Kamala Harris. Yeah, but at least, Kamala Harris is, by the way, she's fair skinned because her mummy, who's from my caste, probably Ranganathan's caste as well. But she married a very handsome, good looking, what's called mixed race or colored person from the beautiful and fantastic country of Jamaica. It's from the dad that she gets her more whitish and beautiful and good body. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. You can see that one lovely lady who's the daughter of Viv Richards through Indian mother. Beautiful. You see, because the fact is that if I get married on a West Indian or African American, because children may be much whiter than me, you know, it's understandable because of that history. But, you can't bloody pretend that if you don't come from a settler colony, oh, I'm suffering from decoloniality, and this is nonsense. Very few white people were there in India and wherever. And oh, by the way, hello, Ranganathan, Shyama Ranganathan. By the way, Arundel, he married Rukmini and Bharatnatyam. So that's as well as yoga, theosophy. They all supported all these things, yoga and so forth. So nonsense. In fact, at the moment, probably the leading crazy bastard who talks about yoga is an old Etonian. He's a professor. Melanson. I mean, the thing is, he's smart. He's old Etonian, yes. But, let's face it, I wouldn't really want to go one-on-one with him on, Panini's Sanskrit, because I don't know shit about Panini's Sanskrit. But, that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's hear from this bald-headed freak. Nah, I'm kidding. He's very good-looking, smart chap. But
here's the kind of the Twitter snippets. I'm going to be talking about activism, engagement, diversity, and appropriation within yogic spiritual circles. Now, one of the things that I've added to this presentation and analysis is that I want to situate this within a longer history of Western imperialism. I think a lot of
I want to do that.
Are usually
because I'm totally gay.
Because they don't understand. They don't situate our current problems within a historical context.
Oh, yeah.
I think thinking about things historically is very yogic. Thinking about
yes, like, so yogic, man. Yeah.
Which we identify with certain but then
what is this shit?
Us from growth and moving on. So I take this kind of historical approach, but just one small. My dissertation was actually on translation, and it was there that I really discovered the Yoga Sutra. I was asked by chance to teach a yoga philosophy course to students at an Ayurveda school, and I couldn't stand any of the translations, so I translated the Yoga Sutra while I was thinking about translation. And the Yoga Sutra taught me so much. It was just one of these moments.
Yeah, this is extraordinary. I mean, is it some sort of homosexual propaganda? Maybe not. Yeah, a lot of people in the moment, if you're people from my class, if you're going to go to England, you want to sound like a parliamentarian, a QC, but now we would say a King's Counsel, a barrister. You'd actually take elocution lessons. She sound male. Mrs. Thatcher was a barrister. Her voice was lowered so that she would sound authoritative. But if you went to England, yes, you could end up working in a factory. In which case, you cultivated Punjabi or Gujarati or whatever. Nothing wrong there. But if you were headed here, you would end up speaking in an authoritative manner. Because what England was famous for was its law. America was famous by the time the Indians were allowed to emigrate there in 1965. It was famous for its drugs. And Allen Ginsberg, who'd already come to India, found some good drugs there, but he believed very firmly in the notion that the right place for your dick is up somebody else's asshole, and their dick should also be up some other asshole. See, this was a revolutionary affirmation of sodomy, of shaving your head, of developing, muscles and not having any hair. And but it doesn't always have to do with sodomy. It could have to do with teaching what the shit, being involved in activism, engagement, diversity, and appropriation within yogic spiritual circles, especially if this is all an outcome of longer historical processes, which you want to make a History Channel film about. Anyway, this is my point is that Ranganathan, Shyam Ranganathan, justice, ethics, yoga, this man is a cretin. He doesn't know Sanskrit. He's translated, he says, the Yoga Sutras. The problem is that to translate the Yoga Sutras, you actually have to know English. Into English, you have to know English. This guy doesn't know English. He doesn't know what words in English mean because he shaved his head, shaved off all his body hair, and turned into a nutter. This, English is, the meaning of English is the pragmatics of English, how the English words are used. This man uses them in a crazy manner. He may have shaved himself and maybe doing positive lessons from retrieving yoga. He may be doing that, retrieving yoga from up his ass. Maybe doing all that. And all this may require historic understanding of why it got shoved up his ass in the first place. But Shyam Ranganathan, Stephen shared what is Kant. In my humble opinion, as part of the wider yoga, which yoga, but what is it? And the answer has been given by Grothendieck. A yoga, it's a term in mathematics. Look it up. It's a method of joining together things on the basis of a greater universality. It is a style of economia, or good management, or artha. Yoga is merely a part of artha. Meaning. Not some bloody freak who shaved himself and looks like a knob. This is not. This has got nothing to do with yoga. It's got nothing to do with ethics, but it is everything to do with the adversely selective nature of philosophy undergraduate or postgraduate degrees, whereby you started off with stupid people, and then you got drug addicts, and then you got drug addicts recruiting crazy people, and then, brown people who want to shave their head off, and, it's just shit. The thing is shit. Fuck him. Or not. This is a matter. I probably get on well with this chap, provided he doesn't, beat me up and sodomize me, because I really don't want to be sodomized. Perhaps I do. I don't know. I definitely don't. But this stuff is shit. It's just stupid.